What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Factless Football Show. I'm going to start from this point. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Factless Football Show. So here's what happened. We previously started this, but I realized my mic didn't turn on. So I was one told me to look down and make sure it was on. So I didn't want to have us echo, so I'm going to just speed through this real quick. We are covering the week. Oh man, wait, I got it. Okay, we're covering the week 14 schedule. It's okay. You don't have to jump into this part right now. I got it. We're covering the week 14 schedule. The Colts lost to the Bengals. The Colts lost to the Bengals. He lost to the Patriots, which is crazy by itself to even assume. No, again, I'm happy that my team, I'll take it from here, you're fine. My team, I wanted them to be, I wanted Marvin Harrison Jr.
You wanted them to suck.
I did.
So you can get Marvin. As I said, you were never in the running.
Yes.
You had like 5 other teams worse than the Colts.
Yes.
Even with
because when my quarterback went down, you
automatically went, I guess we're going to the basement.
Listen, when you've been struggling for years, you're just naturally assuming that something bad's going to happen.
You're supposed to give your team. You're supposed to have hope that your team is going to do better.
I had hope that they would have at least shown some sense of competency during the season.
Once your quarterback went down, you went, well, there's my season. That's no hope. You just went, I guess we're getting Marvin Harrison Jr. When you forgot there's other teams with like 2 wins out there and 1. Like you were gonna get them. Now you're in the playoffs right now as the 7th seed.
I'm happy.
Yes, until it's like Colts are no longer in the playoffs. Then you're gonna be like,
we got nothing out of
it. Exactly. So your only saving grace right now is literally keeping that 7th seed because
we just leave them make the playoff. Actually, because the Jaguars lost, we actually in a good spot to actually win the division, which is a gigantic leap ahead from last year. Yeah, so, like I said at the beginning, because I told you the offseason, it's either going to be really, really bad. We're going to be really, really bad or really, really good. If we're really good, then we're going to make the playoffs. If we're really bad, this is Marvin Harrison Jr. That was it. I can't do middle. I don't do good with middle.
You were never in the running for Marvin Harrison Jr. You were never going to be in that position. You would have to have 2 wins at best to get Marvin Harrison Jr. 1 and 2. You already had 3? By the time he went down 4, so once you had that mark, you weren't never going to get it. The Panthers are 2 wins, and we have 3 games.
And it's funny because when it started, I said my only issue was going to be them and the Bears.
Yeah,
in the Cardinals because
Bears are winning, or they won 5 games now. Yeah, Patriots are 3 wins, 3 wins right now, I believe. The Panthers are at 2. Bears are at 5. The Jets at 5, I think. So once you hit that 3 to 4 win mark, you were never going to get Marvin Harrison Jr. Because the Panthers are 2 wins only, and there's 3 games left.
Oh, wait, hold on. Let me do the conference. There we go. Yeah, Panthers are 2 and 12.
Yeah.
Cardinals are 3 and 11.
Mm-hmm.
Commanders. Commanders are 4 and 10. Bears are 5 and 9. But the Bears have the Cardinals pick, so that's where they.
So I'm saying once you hit that 3,
New England is 3. Jets are 5. Tennessee, whatever.
Yeah. So once you hit that, once your team hit the 3 win mark, you were out of the running,
and I'm fine with that. I'm okay.
But now you need to hope you complete the playoffs.
Yes, because I don't like the middle. I either want to make the playoffs or nothing at all. I don't like the middle. It's just.
Well, you're gonna be for the next 3 weeks. You're gonna be on. You need a heart monitor. Corey.
I am gonna be struggling. I know. I'm gonna lose my mind.
You are.
I am. Because the Bills all of a sudden want to be good now. That's stupid. Whatever. It's just I just want.
You're such a child.
I just want what I want, and it's just not. It's happening. Mm-hmm. We're in it. I hope we didn't have the last one though. I hope at least we would have the 5 or 6.
Well, that would determine the Bengals and the Browns need to start losing, and you need to keep winning in order for that to happen. And the way things are looking with the Bengals and Browns, I don't think you're going to get that opportunity.
I have Bengals and Steelers.
Mm-hmm. Wow, spoiler. We're still a week behind.
I don't care. I'm trying to look at my fate. Browns and Texans. God, Browns gonna beat them.
Yeah, they are.
All right. Oh my God. All right. If I could just not be last and be like at least 6, I feel safe.
I don't think they're
But if we're 7, it's like anything.
the Browns, because of the Browns and Bengals keep winning, they're going to keep the 5th and 6th seed. And there's literally.
Do me a favor.
What?
Need you to beat the Bengals.
Well, I would love to beat the Bengals.
I would love for you to.
We would take their spot since we beat them once already.
Well, you would take our spot.
That's fine. I'm saying Bengals would get knocked out.
Yeah, now we would go in
the tiebreaker,
and then you would take the last spot, which is fine because now I'm in between people, so I can't just leave.
You still can just leave. Like you're like I'm guaranteed the 6 spots. That's not how that works.
Squished in.
So that's not how that works because it's always the last week of the season where it's like, all right,
we play the Texans too. Watch
like,
CJ Stroud all of a sudden come back like I'm healthy, guys. I'm like
you finna lose.
I'm like next season, put your hands up. It's like square up. I don't even care.
Stupid. All right, my team lost.
Gosh, yes, they did.
As always, Trubisky's trash. And as I've been saying all season long, my defense can do but so much. My offense isn't putting up points.
Yes,
my offense will go down the field, score something, and like that's all we got.
Yeah,
we'll make it work after that. Defense is tired. Offensive weapons are annoyed.
Y'all gonna fight y'all quarterback
because Trubisky just be throwing stuff just to throw it.
Oh man! Well, I told you, your defense or offense are gonna square up, but then the receivers gonna be like plot twist. We hoping the defense fight y'all because you just can't get.
They need a valuable backup that they can rely on, and it's not Trubisky.
No.
And spoiler alert, Rudolph is starting against the Bengals on Saturday, so. Who knows how that's going to go? Maybe it'll be better. Maybe it won't. I mean, now that they got options until Kenny comes back from his injury, which should be.
Oh, they said that he was. I guess spoiler.
Yeah.
I did the course like he wasn't ruled out.
Yeah.
So basically, he would probably be like your number 2.
Probably. Well, since he's still injured, probably like 3.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure they'll just leave him as a 3rd. But if Rudolph is sucking. They're just gonna look at Kenny like, go. You got one leg. It's probably your one leg is probably better than both of them combined. So if he doesn't play this game, then he'll probably come back for the Seattle game.
Yeah,
but that ultimately depends on what their record is, anyways. If we lose,
it's gonna matter.
Yeah, because I think if we lose, we're out.
Yeah, because
we're gonna be 7-8, I believe, if we lose.
Yeah.
And unless everyone else magically loses this week. Obviously, outside the Bengals, when we play them. If, like, the Browns lose, you lose. And then, like, the Bills, Broncos, and obviously Texans face the Browns. But, yeah. So, who knows? I still think we should get another quarterback, even if it's just some other backup.
No, you do. You do need something else.
Like I said before, I don't think they'll get rid of Kenny. I still think they'll find an offensive coordinator, and then
because it's still Kenny's third year. Third year, they figure out.
I know everyone's like Justin Fields.
Yeah,
but it would if Kenny comes back and he still sucks. If he's still sucking. Then I can see them seeing what they would be willing to trade for Justin Fields, but I'm not even sure if they would.
Well, because the reason I say they have to do it now is because if the Bears get a quarterback, then you can't keep him in town.
Yeah.
So I'm like, if this is your chance, then. But I think the other part is going to be. Sorry, I think the other part is going to be who your offensive coordinator is.
That's the thing. So I think it just depends on who they go for that positioning. Hopefully before, obviously, the free agency mark starts, and then the draft and all that.
Yeah,
I'm sure they'll field, no pun intended, field offers for Justin Field during the free agency mark, more than likely before the draft starts.
Yeah.
Just to see, because there are a lot of teams who could use a quarterback.
No, of course,
a starting quarterback. I don't know if he would actually be a backup depending on where he goes, but. I'm sure they'll get a lot of offers for him because he is doing good this stretch.
I would take back. Okay, so like my offensive coordinator, my head coach. If we didn't get Anthony Richardson, let's say we were just in the middle, he needed a quarterback. He can do something with Fields. They kind of tailor to that. There's only but so many coaches that can do something with him. Yeah. That's why I said I think it's really going to depend on your coordinator.
Yeah.
If he's like some 70-year-old dude who just, I'm like, it's not going to work. You definitely need someone who can tailor an offense around Fields.
Yeah.
And my thing is, you have a defense, you have running backs, you got receivers. It's not like you got scrubs. And plus, it'll give you time to fix your line.
Yeah.
Because instead of him being a statue back there, you can at least move around or do something.
Yeah.
But the other thing is, though, and your division tends to kill each other.
Yes.
On a consistent yearly basis.
Mm-hmm.
So with Fields, it's like, okay, can he slide? Can he get out the way? Like, don't be a running back because they will end your existence.
They would.
So I would take him, regardless of all of that. Yeah. I would take him because I feel like right now he is your best option.
Yeah.
As far as aside from Pickett, he is your best option.
Yeah. Like, I still don't. Yeah. I'm not out on Kenny at all.
Yeah.
I still think he can still be the franchise quarterback. I just would rather see him with an actual coordinator to work with during the off season, and then go into the season and see how he does with more than likely the same people around him. Maybe a few changes if people decide, like, I don't want to be here anymore. Yeah. And then we'll just pick a receiver off the street and then but it's like, I mean, you do have another season with it. That's what I'm saying. I don't think they're gonna trade for Fields. I wouldn't be surprised if they did, and I wouldn't be surprised if they did it. Yeah. That's my point, because then it's just going to be a quarterback competition. I mean, here's my thing. Even if it's a quarterback competition, let's say Pickett wins. Give it week 3. And let's say you guys are still, terrible. They're going to call for Fields. I don't even think week 3. Depending on, I think it depends on who we face and how bad the losses or the close wins are. Yeah. That's what I think it would come to. If it's terrible the first game, they might chalk it up like, oh, they're still, they got to get everything together. Obviously, it's their first full game playing together. Fine, they might chalk the first one up. I think after the second one, maybe middle second one, if he's still missing people and not hitting open receivers, then I think the fans are going to go, Fields, put him in.
Yeah, so that's why I said if you bring in Fields, I think it benefits you either way, whether he comes off, whether he just beats him and takes the job, or it's a matter of time where, okay, Pickett would have a heads up because he's been there longer. Yeah. But again, we've all seen that that's not really something to hold
especially if the receivers are like, we're not doing this again. Yeah. You're not going to keep missing us wide open and throwing the ball deep to us and overthrowing us. Like, it's not. They're not going to give it. I don't think they would give it 3. I think they would give it like 2. Yeah. Obviously, like I said, depending on who they face and how bad it is.
Because exactly, you don't want to do it like week 6 and you're so far behind.
Yeah. So that's what I said. Even if it's like, let's say 1 and 2 or something like that, you can still salvage the season easily.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So that's why I was like, if it's bad the first game, they might chalk it up and go, it's the first game, but the second game is still doing bad. I think that's when they go,
nah, this ain't working. Yeah. No, I don't blame you. All right, so lastly, Cowboys, Eagles. Cowboys played really well at home, as I guess always, in a way. I get it. They won. But my thing is, we've seen this story play out every year. Yeah. They get on this streak, they beat some team, and it's like, okay, the Cowboys are back, and it's like
America's team.
I'll believe it when I at least see you in the NFC Championship. Yeah, I'll give you that.
I gotta see who they face in the playoffs. For their first game, and see how they do against them.
No, I agree.
Because they some close victory where they barely won by a field goal, like overtime, and be like, y'all about to get the brake speed off you the following week.
I don't look at them as a tough team. No. I look at them as a team that they're good. I'm not taking anything away from them, but in comparison to like the 49ers, who will literally punch you in the face and dare you to swing back. The Eagles,
they're not running the football, and it's messing up my fantasy.
They're not running the football. I think that's their hiccup. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like because they feel like they have Hurts or where we can throw. Yeah, which I get it.
Swift there,
but that's my point. Like if the Eagles just get back to being that team that will punch you in the face too, I don't think the Cowboys would beat them either. Yeah. Right about now, if they played the Buccaneers, I don't think they beat the Buccaneers either.
If they lose to the Bucs,
I'm not lying to you, Courtney. I lied to you not. I don't think they would.
I'm blowing
because right now the Buccaneers are number 1 in their division. So
I'm blowing up that whole team.
Well, and that's the other part. Like because Dak is getting a new contract. Well, maybe. Well,
Yeah, I don't know if they lose to the Bucs. If they lose first round period, I don't think he's gonna get a new contract.
CeeDee Lamb has a contract coming up.
Someone ain't getting
paid. And then
paid.
Micah, I don't know if Micah signed, but I think Micah gets a new contract.
Yeah, someone on that team ain't getting paid.
That's my point. So to them, their window is now to do this because you can't sign. Like if you lose CeeDee Lamb, like you can't franchise tag both guys. You can't franchise tag Micah and CeeDee Lamb. So you're gonna have to pay one, franchise tag and work on it, or you're just going to ultimately lose one. And I don't think, from a defensive perspective, you can't lose him. From an offensive perspective, you can't lose Lamb because who else you going to throw to?
I think Lamb is worse
to lose
than CD.
What? Oh, I know what you're saying.
Then Micah, yeah, I think Lamb is worse because that's literally his main target on offense.
Yeah.
I mean, you're losing your best pass rusher, but as you've been shown, they run the ball
at him. Yeah,
he's like.
He's just a regular,
he's just a regular guy.
Yeah.
So I think they can not really find, but I think they can get someone to be a pass rusher.
Yeah.
He may not be as explosive and dynamic as Micah, but how many number one receivers are you going to be able to bring in to pay cheap?
If they lose one of those two, if they decide to pay Dak, and unless Dak takes a pay cut, which I don't think he will, I think he should, because you haven't done anything to warrant that astronomical amount of money. If you pay Dak that amount, there's no way, whether it's now or a year from now, you can have both of those other guys.
That's what I'm saying.
Because they can't get nobody now.
No. That's what I'm saying. If you lose, that's why I say it's worse if they lose CD.
Yeah.
Because CD can find another team.
Of course.
That will pay him.
Of course.
If Dak takes a huge... If Dak takes a huge contract... And they still have like another year. They just franchise tag Micah and they lose CD.
Because of
who are you going to find to be your number one receiver that you can pay cheap? That's good.
To draft, like as if they built through the draft all over again. But then you got to cross your fingers and hope
that you have there's a receiver. Well, you have to hope there's a receiver there to get, because I don't know how many obviously top tier receivers there are.
But that's what I'm saying. There's always receivers.
It's just depending how much money they're willing, or how much less.
Yeah, because you can't trade for Devontae Adams.
No,
because again, Dak has taken up a lot of your money. So and you pay. Oh, that's what it was. You paid Diggs.
Yeah.
So that's why so you don't. And he's not even playing right now.
No.
So that's my point. Like you can't.
Yeah.
There's something that's gonna happen.
Because their running game is still bad, and then if you get rid of Lamb, you're not going to be able to find a number one receiver as good, or maybe a little bit below him.
Yeah.
To trade for or to sign, because you're not going to have that money, and most top tier receivers aren't going to take like a huge pay cut, especially to play for the Cowboys.
No,
like, I can see if they did it for like the Eagles, 49ers, the Chiefs, probably the Ravens, actual teams where they can go, I know I can potentially reach the Super Bowl with them.
Yeah.
And then you look at Dallas, you're like, where your quarterback's making like $800 million
and subpar basic level skill set.
Yeah, so I'm like, you don't have a good running game.
Yeah.
You have a defense, but as you can show, if you could just run the football, Micah's invisible.
Yes.
So there's someone, he's either going to have to take a pay cut so they can keep the team together and try again, and then just, obviously try to fix some things in all season, or that's going to take the money and one of them going to go.
Yeah, I think that before we close, I think that their hope is that Trey Lance behind the scenes is becoming, a good quarterback. Because then they can be like, well, we don't need you anymore. We got a younger guy who we don't necessarily have to pay an arm, leg, kidney, and lung.
Well, they might just end up doing that. Because if Dak's like, I'm not taking a pay cut.
If he loses round one, listen to me. If he loses, because it might be, because they play the Dolphins next. So if they lose that, it's like, well, spoiler alert, because this is week 14. Hold on, my bad.
15.
Week 15 already wrapped up, so we're trying to shoot in this before, so whatever. They lost to the Bills. Obviously, if you watched it, they got demolished. So that's that. Eagles play tonight. I don't know if Hurts is playing, but if Hurts plays, they can win. You see my point? So based off of the wild card standings, if they go on the road to any team, because right now they suck on the road.
Yeah.
If they go on the road, they're not the same team, which means if they go to Tampa, they could lose that game. They could lose that game. If you lose that game, I'm not paying you.
No. They're going to ask him to take a pay cut, and if he doesn't take that pay cut,
then you can go.
Then they're
going.
But
what's the difference? I might as well get Trey Lance at least.
Someone will pay Dak to be their starter because it's just.
But who? The reason I say who because there's a lot of like we talked about the quarterback draft now is insane. The only way that would work is if he's like a bridge guy.
Yeah,
like he goes into. Or as a backup, which I don't know if he's going to want to be a backup, but his best bet of his success is to stay in Dallas. That's it. You can't. I don't know what other team would just want him. Like let me not say that. They would take him,
just not for us,
but not for that amount of money. No. So your only bet to get him on money is a Super Bowl.
Yes.
The NFC Championship. I mean, not get blown out in the NFC Championship. I mean, NFC Championship and you lose by like a field goal.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. He may look like, okay, let me get you this. But my thing is now you do that next season. What if he just goes back down to how he was before? Because you know how dudes are contract years play. And right now, that's what this looks like to me with them. It's contract year. I don't know. I mean, I don't like the Cowboys either, so either option's fine with me. Yeah. Lose round one. Don't keep your guys.
I'll take Micah.
I'll take Lamb. I remember Get Mar Harrison Jr., so I'm gonna take. I'll take.
You know what's funny though? Before we close, your team literally has the money to pay anybody, and
we literally do.
And your guys like
we literally do.
So technically, we
could
get Micah if you got rid of one of your receivers. Let's say you didn't sign one of them back or whatever, one of them got released or whatever. You would have the money to pay a top tier receiver.
Oh, yeah. We're not paying nobody.
It's just he doesn't want to pay nobody.
Because Leonard, I don't think we're paying because we released him, so we're fine. That's a gigantic off. Only people that we're actually kind of playing is Quentin and... I mean, that's really about it. Yeah. As far as heavy contract, that's it. Pittman's coming up this year, which he'll get paid.
Oh, yeah, he will.
Richardson is still a rookie. Pierce is his second year, so next year will be his third year. Which I don't think they're going to give him an astronomical amount of money because Lord knows you have not.
Unless he has like a career all-time.
Watch next year it happens. Why? Because Anthony Richardson will be back. He's like, go deep. Okay, so I can chuck the ball 90 yards. I'm back. Go deep. I can watch next year. He's just going to go off. I'm like, you want that money. I'm not mad at you.
GM going to be kicking his desk like,
just pay the man. I don't even know, man. All right, thank you so much for joining us on this show, Factless Football Show. Week 15? 14. No, 15. We're going to do it 14 now. Week 15 will be up this week also. Thank you so much for joining us. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Till next time.